Hi and welcome to Healthy Life Hacks. I'm Jefferies, the present-day wise woman, a realistic naturopath coming to you from the surfing beaches of Australia. This podcast is for those of you who are wanting to really rock your life and health and live from a place of prevention. Let's get into today's episode. Cloning is the key to learning faster. It is. If we want faster success in any area of life, if it's health or finances or relationships or business or anything like that, duplicating, cloning, mimicking, copying, robbing and duplicating someone else's system is the way to go. It is the fastest way. Now, I'm not saying, I'm being cheeky by saying robbing and duplicating, but I'm not saying steal someone's intellectual property. That's not it. But it means modeling the behaviors, the actions, the ways of showing up, the habits, the mindset, all those things of someone who's got the success in that particular area that you want. That's it. That's how we fast track it. So we find an expert in an area, whether you go and pay them for coaching or not, or whether you watch their free nowadays. Oh my gosh, you can learn for free through things like YouTube and all the reels and things on social media. Like there's so much you can learn out there and just copy when you find an expert, a person who's got what you want, and that their values, their way of being in life, all that kind of stuff matches yours. Why go around in circles trying to reinvent the wheel? The thing that stops us is our ego. Our ego wants to put our own spin on stuff. But if I find someone who's got what I want, I duplicate it. I copy it, I clone it, I mimic it exactly. And that's why I've been able to fast track success in so many different areas of life. So let's go. Let's dig in on this. So like I said, robbing, duplicating, cloning, whatever, is not about theft, okay? It's about smart learning. It involves identifying people in our community who've already got systems, successes, best practices, techniques, all those kind of things within the area that you're wanting to improve in. They've already got it. They've got the track record, okay? So when we rob a successful strategy, we're looking with what they're doing now, whether we are paying them for coaching, whether we're following them on things like YouTube or podcasts or on reels on social media or reading the books, whatever it is. When they've got a system that works and that person needs to line up with your, morals, values, and all those kind of things as well, we can duplicate it. Okay, robbing just means to duplicate. You're implementing what's worked for them into your routine, your workflow, and it saves time. It saves time. It reduces errors because they've already done all the mistakes and they're telling you how not to make the mistakes. You get to fast track. And so it just gets that quicker mastery. So why it works, like I said, they've got a track record. They've got a track record to show that they've tried and tested different things, and this is what works. So if I'm working with people with health, for instance, I've worked for decades with people to help them with things like with, better energy and better sleep and better moods and better weight. And instead of me saying, here, just try these kind of things, I'll go, here, this is where you're at. Do this specifically. Okay, so you're able to fast track. If I'm wanting to learn financial advice, for instance, I'll go to a financial expert that has the vibe, the values, all those kind of things of what I want, and or that totally vibes with me. I'm not going to sell myself out for anything, any kind of success. The same as following different entrepreneurs and everything. I find those have got a proven track record, but have also got, similar values to me, because I will not compromise that for anything. So it's time efficiency. And so instead of us spending all the hours to reinvent the wheel all the time to see what does work, it's like they're saying, do this, 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 and this. They've paved the way. So I can save time, and I'll do anything to save time. The only thing that we can't buy in life is our time. I cannot buy every wasted minute or any minute that I spend of a day. I can't buy it back. Okay. So I am so time savvy because I know it's my most precious commodity in life. Okay. So it's also mentorship in disguise. So if you're choosing not to directly pay someone to mentor you, and again, I love that YouTube, social media, all those kind of things nowadays. There's so much information out there for free. It's insane. Podcasts and that. So where some people scroll, mindlessly looking at shit, what are you following? Are you following someone and their favorite recipe, or mindless kind of stuff, or stuff that's not going to lift you up? I follow people who've got if it's their health, for instance, I'll follow sites that speak the same language as me, that work to the same kind of values that I do, the same with business learning. It's like mentorship in disguise. Okay, so I'm able to follow them for free nowadays. Insane, absolutely insane. Whether podcasts or YouTubes or social media and stuff, I can follow and duplicate and be indirectly mentored by successful people by learning what they're doing. Okay, now, like I said, whether it's books, online courses, whichever modality, it doesn't matter, but it's like a mentorship in disguise. So the steps to making this really work for you, one is to find someone who's got what you want. If it's health, you want to make sure they've got the physical, emotional, mental health in a place that works for you. Okay, whether it's business, what kind of business, what kind of industry, what size, all that kind of thing. Scale it. I'm not going to follow someone who's, I have big dreams and aspirations. So I follow people and learn from people, model people who have got the kind of business I want, the global kind of business that I want, and I build, for instance. Or whether it's relationships, I absolutely learn from how to continue to have great relationships in my life by modeling behaviors and systems that different relationship coaches teach.
Have you ever wondered how your life could have been different if you'd had access to this type of content at a younger age? Look, this is why I need your help. I'm working to build the #1 platform that gives real and easy to integrate healthy life hacks and mindset to help you get well and stay well. This show only grows by word of mouth and new subscribers. It would mean the world to me if you could click the subscribe button right now, leave a 5-star written review, or drop a comment below. Share this episode with a friend and I would be forever grateful. Now, let's get back to this week's episode.
So we can do that. It might be a public figure, it might be a mentor, it might be an expert in your actual industry, depending on what that is. It might be a friend who's already got the results. And this is where you got to be careful about family, friend, or something. If someone's bagging something you want to do, you want to go on a health protocol, for instance, or you want to start a business or something like that, and that person has never achieved success in that area, and they're going, nah, it'll never work, it'll never work. I'd find someone else who's actually already had success in that area and be taking my advice and modeling them, not someone who hasn't had success in that area. That's a big one. So we study their work, okay? Read their books, watch their interviews, check out their courses, take the courses, pay for mentoring if you choose to do it that way. But there is so much out there you can do for free or for minimal charge, okay? Take in as much as you can about how they think, how they operate on a daily basis, the baby steps they do that they're showing you to give them the life that you want. Now, this is the important piece. You want to clone it, copy it, okay? Duplication's key. And you can tweak, tailor it to your style, to your personal strengths. What I find people do is that their ego will have them go, yeah, that's great. I'll just do 10% of what they're saying and discard the other bit. Well, it's not. They've got success because they're doing all of that stuff, not just that 10% or 20% that you're taking out. And when people don't follow a complete system, they don't get complete results. So you can tailor it to your style. However, I suggest that you duplicate. I always duplicate, clone, copy, whatever you want to call 80% of what they're saying, 80%. And then I'll put 20% on, I'll tweak to my strengths, for instance. But 80%, the guts of it, I'll keep it the same. And it's only our ego that takes us away from doing that. Our ego thinking we know better. Well, shit, if your results don't show that you're already in a better result to where you wanted to be, you're not better. So copy, clone, duplicate 80%. And then the last one is to implement immediately. Immediately. I've got a young guy that I mentor, and I've watched him over the last, he's just turned 31. Check out his podcast, Morgan T. Nelson, Dream Out Loud. I've mentored Morgan for the last 8 years, and he is the most coachable person I've ever met. Absolutely most coachable person I've ever met. He was a tradie when we first met. He was a chippy, a carpenter, and he wanted that entrepreneur's life. And he came to me. We actually met in the surf, and he came to me and he said, I'll learn from you. He saw that I had the lifestyle and everything that he wanted. Interesting that a 23-year-old guy saw this, 50-something-year-old woman had what he wanted, but he did. And I said, okay, well, let's do a test. So test and measure. I'd give him different tasks to do. And what I noticed was he knew the secret to success. I didn't even have to teach him. And that's to implement whatever you learn immediately. Okay, so people get ready and they're ready and they're ready and they're ready, but they never actually fire. They never actually take the action. And so with Morgan, he's the key. I'd watch him reading a book. I'd watch him, I'd say, hey, read this book, do this, or listen to this podcast. He would do it. And the thing he learned, he implemented it straight away. Now he has a multi-million-dollar business already in just a few years, but he's done the work. He's grown himself. He's duplicated. He is a master at duplicating his podcast. He gets the top trainers and speakers in the world to interview on his podcast. Amazing, amazing, amazing what he's created. However, he is the king of implementing. And this is where I see people go off track, okay? The easiest way to learn is to act fast. So here's a point. You've learned this, great. Try and test it straight away. Because when we sit on it, think about it, it's so easy to talk ourselves out of it or think, no, that won't work. I'll just do it this other way. No, learn it. You want to duplicate, learn it, do it, learn it, do it, learn it, do it. Okay. The key to that fastest learning is to take the action, fire immediately. Okay. So at its core, robbing and duplicating, cloning, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter, but it's about smart learning. Doesn't matter what you want to learning. And it doesn't matter what you want to call it. It's about finding something that really resonates with you and then leveraging that wisdom, the experience of others who have created success in that area of life that you're wanting to, by you duplicating that, robbing, duplicating, clone, whatever you want to call it, shortens your path to success. By modeling those people who've already achieved everything that you're seeking, you don't just learn faster, but you absolutely avoid the unnecessary mistakes that they've made to achieve the success. And that's just clever. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel, okay? Rob what works, okay? But if you're going to go and create something with someone's system, make sure you give credit, okay? I'm not talking about that, but rob, duplicate something that works and fast track your results. I promise it's an easier path. I want to thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed my podcast, please let me know by leaving a review on Apple Podcast. Every month, I draw one lucky person who leaves a review, have a free 1-hour consultation with me. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're tuning in from so that you always catch the next episode. I welcome your emails and you can write to me at podcast@healthylifehacks.com.au. Until next time, remember, when it comes to life, live it, love it, and get on with it.